Everyone, and welcome to another Comic Geek video. Today we will be doing something quite different. We will be doing a review on LEGO Marvel's Avengers for 3DS. There is a lot to say about this game, and I only have 15 minutes. So, let's dive right in. I am not sure if you can hear the game, but if you can, good. If you can't, I'm sorry, but the focus will really be what I have to say. There are a few people who do tutorials and stuff if you want to watch those, but that's up to you. Me, I try not to. Now, I will try to avoid any spoilers. The game is E10 and up. Let's get started. Okay, so this is a fabulous game for the 3DS system. It is pretty large, and it does have an open world for you to explore, which is, in my opinion, phenomenal. It does have one DLC, but that will be excluded from this review. In fact, I just bought it like 5 minutes ago. Okay, so it has two open world maps, one far smaller than the other, which is the helicarrier, the other being Manhattan. In both maps there are some things for you to do, and it can get quite boring because after you complete those things, there's really nothing for you to do but collect coins. I wish they would have had randomly spawning bad guys for you to fight, or have cops chase you when you cause trouble, or something like that, you know? But unfortunately, they did not include anything like that. And that is a pretty big issue, but not big enough to make you go, I don't want to buy this game. At least not in my opinion. Flying is quite easy. You can spawn in various vehicles, such as helicopters, planes, and cars, trucks. In order to spawn any flight vehicle, you have to go to a helipad, though. And in order to use any flight vehicles you have to discover the helipads. Once you have discovered them, they will be permanently added to your map. As for the cars, you don't need to do anything like that. All you need to do is look at the bottom screen, click in the bottom left-hand corner, and there will be a car icon. That icon is that way you can spawn in cars, of course. There are 3 pages of cars for you to select from, 8 cars per page. This game has 53 playable characters, roughly. Yeah, 53. And compared to the previous LEGO Marvel game released for the 3DS, that's a little over half as much. But being that this is an open world game, I am completely fine with not having as many characters. That is really up to you, but I love how they did the characters much better than how they did them in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. You have the ability to fly, as you've seen, as well as the ability to jump, unlike in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. I love the ability to have multiple Iron Man suits without having to go through all the various characters that you've unlocked. They've made it nice and simple. I love that. The open world is really what I love most about this game. I have never seen a detailed open world game for the 3DS, especially not one this size. This really proves that the 3DS can handle such a large game. Now, I would love for a game like this to be released to really test the 3DS limits, see how large of a map it can handle and stuff like that, but for now, this is fine. And if it can handle a map this big, I believe it can handle a game like Batman Arkham Asylum, if they were to dial down some of the graphics, because the 3DS just can't handle a game that detailed. They did the best they could while trying to keep in mind that families have budgets, which is a good thing. That's one reason I like Nintendo. But it is extremely nice to have an open world game for a portable system, which they had an open world game called The Dark Knight Rises mobile app for the phone, really almost any mobile device. Unfortunately, though, that has been taken down. And the worst part about it is I didn't get to complete it. But I thought it was ridiculous that a phone could handle an open world game. This couldn't. I was proven wrong. Thankfully. That's good on Nintendo's part. The story is just the same as Marvel Avengers, Age of Ultron, and they even include a bit of Captain America the First Avenger. But it's not completely like it. It's not completely like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They replace many of the adult jokes with child jokes, which I wish they kept at least one adult joke, one that would go over the kids' heads, but some of the jokes that they included was fine. I love Stan Lee's cameos in this game. He has at least a couple of them, and in my opinion, they were better than his actual cameos. The cameos in the films were good, and in my opinion, I'm just glad that he had a cameo in this film. In this game. And I can't wait to see more of his cameos. And I dread the day where we no longer get to see his cameos. Really, it'll be disappointing. But he has several more cameos to make in the cinematic universes and stuff that will be good for at least a while. Anyway, flying vehicles can be tough because they're not as sensitive as flying an actual flyable character, such as Iron Man. The vehicles cannot turn as quickly nor gain or lose altitude as quickly, which, in my opinion, can be a big problem. Now, they do include things like racetracks. Well, basically they're called time trials, but they're races against the clock. So I just refer to them as races. It would have been nice to have more detail added to things like the stores, but that's fine, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like you're going into the store. You're just at most going to be walking by it. One thing I wish they did include would be more buildings you can enter, like the Sanctum Sanctorum, or I think I said that right. Have like a gas station, a few gas stations for you to enter and replenish your health. and things like that, you know? That would have been nice, but the only building we can enter is Avengers Tower, excluding the one helicarrier in the alternate map. Now, let's go to the helicarrier and check that out before the video is done. Now, I believe they've done the helicarrier very well. You get a lot out of this game, especially considering that it's available for a small system. Now, in the helicarrier, there are things to do, but not as many as Manhattan, which I think is pretty obvious, being that it's a much smaller map. They can't do as much with it. They have shield containers for you to open. I've already opened them all, as well as Hawkeye targets, and 2 time trials, 2 smash challenges, and Captain America trading cards to collect. Completing said challenges will unlock characters that you can buy in the store. And you can actually enter the helicarrier, which is pretty good. I like that they allow you to enter the helicarrier. They also allow you to change the time of day in which you free roam. All you have to do is click under the top right hand icon, go over, and you can change the time of day in the Manhattan area, of course, which is a feature you unlock after completing the story, and although it was unnecessary, it is very nice to have in my opinion. That's all the time we have. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, hit the thumbs up. If you'd like to see more like it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.